Hello and welcome back to another episode of Index Engineering. In this episode we're going to be doing some work inside the Camaro. We're going to be pulling the dash apart, pulling out some of the electronics, cleaning up some of the wiring, and getting it ready to rewire when we put the LS in. The first thing I decided to do as I was working on the project was to get the passenger seat out of the way. That way it gives me more room to work on the wiring under the dash and makes it a little bit easier to where my feet aren't sticking up through the T-tops. Now that we have the seat out of the way, I can start working on unhooking all of the wires from the terminal blocks that I have underneath the dash. Have to show a shout out to Sloppy Mechanics for getting their large size hats back in stock. Now that I got a few of the things unhooked from under the dash, I can work on pushing the oil pressure gauge wire, the water temperature gauge wire, and the wire for the distributor back into the dash. Now I remove the last of the speakers from the car, get my vacuum pressure gauge removed, tachometer removed, and I can remove my MSD ignition. Now that I have the MSD removed, I decided that I'm going to go through and fix some of the wiring on it by soldering two of the wires back together and removing a splice that had been put in earlier. After getting the wires soldered together, I put some heat shrink tubing on them, color coding them to the specific wires that they are. Then I wrap those heat shrink tubes in more heat shrink tubes. That's it for this episode of Index Engineering. Hope you guys enjoyed watching. Stay tuned for more updates. Don't forget to like and subscribe.